Shedeur Sanders doesn't make excuses. He doesn't complain about not getting enough practice, the backup wide receivers, or the weak offensive line that's struggling against Cleveland's second-string defense. He just shows up, stays quiet, and proves he's got what it takes. On day 3 of the Browns training camp, for the first time since early practices, Shedeur finally got a real chance to shine. Playing with the second team in an 11-on-11 drill, he was amazing. In just 8 plays, Shedeur did what he always does when he gets a shot. He nailed it. He completed both his passes in a quick series, ending with a super accurate throw to tight end Blake Whiteheart that got everyone on the sidelines excited. No pausing, no shaky steps, just smooth and confident plays. It makes you wonder why the Browns haven't given him more chances yet. But the story doesn't start with that awesome pass. It starts with the team holding him back. This is a guy who's always been the star in high school, at Jackson State, and at Colorado under the biggest college football spotlight. Now, for the first time, he's being told to wait his turn. But waiting doesn't mean doing nothing. Shedeur's been working like a pro since day 1. On the hot and sweaty 3rd day of camp, he let his skills do the talking. While people talked about Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco's experience, Shedeur stole the show with just 8 plays. There's something cool about how Shedeur handles tough situations. The NFL didn't welcome him like other top quarterbacks. No big celebration, no hype, just doubts and questions. A 5th-round pick, stuck behind a Super Bowl MVP, a former 1st-round pick, and another rookie who isn't nearly as good as Shedeur. But he's still expected to wait his turn. Yet every time Shedeur's in a tough spot, he works harder, thinks smarter, and plays better. On day 3 of camp, he got his first reps with the second team, and you could see the difference right away. No more bad blocking from backup linemen. No more messy routes from random practice players acting as receivers. With a real offense and an actual tight end to throw to, Shedeur looked like the star we saw at Jackson State and Colorado. He didn't let anyone down. His quick decisions and calm vibe in the pocket stood out among all the quarterbacks trying to prove themselves. This wasn't just a good day, it was a big deal. Shedeur wasn't just running the offense, he was in charge of it. His timing was perfect, his reads were spot on, and that perfect pass to Whiteheart down the middle was like a veteran throw, even though he's just a rookie. And for every person who doubted him after early struggles with the backup team, they had to admit he's ready when given a real chance. Shedeur said he's ready whenever his moment comes. He wants to show the fans everything he's got. He's not stressing about sitting and waiting for his time. The sun was blazing, the air was sticky, but Shedeur was hotter than the weather. He felt super comfortable running the plays, not worried about the doubters, but fueled by them. Some people didn't just come to cheer, they came to judge, and Shedeur knew it. That's why his performance was so awesome. While other quarterbacks looked stressed in the heat, Shedeur stayed cool, calm, and confident. You'd never guess it was his first time working with a decent team. Nothing shook him up. He's been through big challenges before, going from a small college to a big one, and now in the NFL, nothing feels too tough for him. He stepped into his throws, tricked defenders with his eyes, and knew where receivers would be before they even got there. Still, the crowd wasn't shouting his name or clapping loud. But that's not Shedeur's style, and he's not here to win over the fans in the stands. He's here to earn the respect of his teammates, and he's doing it the hard way. Quarterbacks coach Bill Musgrave said to ignore outside noise. For Shedeur, that's easy. He's used to it. He's had cameras on him since he was a kid. He's been famous longer than most of his teammates have had beards. But with all that pressure and heat, with everyone watching, he didn't back down. He shined. Before day 3 even started, people were already against Shedeur, not because of his playing or attitude, but because of 2 speeding tickets that became big news. He was caught driving 91 miles per hour in Brunswick and 101 miles per hour in Strongsville. 2 mistakes, yes, and they were reckless. The media didn't just talk about it. They made it a huge deal. They called him immature, irresponsible, not ready for the NFL. It was a big attack. Then came Andrew Berry, the Browns GM, who spoke out. He said it wasn't smart, that it wasn't just about driving fast, but about putting others in danger. That's fair. But let's be real. Lots of rookies have done worse without their boss calling them out in public. This felt like a personal jab, almost like a show. Meanwhile, Shedeur handled it like an adult. He said, "I learned not to drive fast. I follow the rules now. No excuses, no dodging, just owning up to it." But that's the unfair part Shedeur deals with every day. One mistake becomes a huge story. One bad practice becomes a judgment. He gets no room to mess up, no second chances. Yet he still shows up early, studies late, and stays calm when people try to make him look like a problem. So was this just about speeding? Or was it an easy way to knock down a young black quarterback whose name is bigger than the NFL likes? Because if you're looking for signs of people trying to hold him back, they're there. While the media focused on speeding tickets, Shedeur was doing something way more important. He was quietly connecting with the people of Cleveland. He wasn't at fancy award shows or showing off for attention. No, he was at Rainbow Terrace, helping victims of a terrible apartment fire, giving out supplies and checking on families. He used his fame to make a difference, not to get likes. That's who Shedeur really is, a guy who cares about people, not just a quarterback on a team. This wasn't a fake act or something his team planned. It was just Shedeur doing what felt right. He said, "I feel like God put me here to do this. One font, let's do it." And he did. No cameras, no interviews, just being there. That's the kind of leadership you can't teach. He's not chasing fans, he's helping them. That's why when his big moment comes, Cleveland will already know they've got a special guy leading their team. Not just a quarterback, not just Deion's son, but a grounded, grown-up leader who knows how to give back. But here's what should bug his doubters. None of this gets big news. His kindness doesn't go viral on X. His community work isn't all over ESPN. But one speeding ticket? That's all it takes to shape a story. So let's turn it around. If a guy's character is about what he does off the field, why isn't everyone cheering for Shedeur Sanders? If there's one word that sums up Shedeur Sanders' NFL journey, it's focus. Every rep he gets, even if it's just one in a long practice, he treats like it's the Super Bowl. That's how sharp his mind is. While people talk about who's starting or who's on the depth chart, Shedeur's thinking way ahead, focusing on the stuff that matters. Routes, blocking, play calls, timing. He's all over it. He's not just hoping for a chance, he's acting like the job's already his. And when he's not playing, he's still dialed in, watching the defense from the sidelines, tracking every play, checking film on his iPad before and after practice, writing down every call the night before so he's never caught off guard. He even uses virtual reality to practice plays he's not getting in real life. That's not a backup attitude. That's next-level focus. What makes him different from most rookies? He's not mad about being the third or fourth quarterback. He's not whining about the team's choices. He gets it. He's been counted out before. He's used to people underestimating him. So instead of complaining, he's quietly building something unstoppable. And when his time comes, he'll be the only one truly ready. What's even cooler? He's building friendships with everyone, not just the big stars or the starters. He's chatting with defensive backs, bonding with the offensive line, and hanging out with newer players outside of practice. That's not random. That's leadership. It's already changing the Browns' locker room from the inside. 3 days into training camp, and everyone's still asking the same question. Why hasn't Shedeur Sanders gotten a single rep with the first team? Not even one. Joe Flacco's getting his chances, Kenny Pickett's getting his, even Dylan Gabriel's getting some looks. But Shedeur? He's stuck in the background, quietly outshining everyone else when he gets tiny chances. And yet, head coach Kevin Stefanski says nothing. Shedeur was asked straight up by reporters why he hasn't played with the first team. His answer? It's not my place. Respectful, professional, but let's be real. That's not a real answer. That's just him being polite. The real question isn't why Shedeur isn't asking for more. It's why the coaches act like he hasn't earned it. Because after day 3, it's obvious he has. And don't forget, Bill Musgrave, the quarterback's coach, has known Shedeur's dad since they played together in San Francisco. This isn't some random guy. He should be supporting Shedeur, guiding him, lifting him up. But the way the coaches are acting feels like they're tiptoeing around something. It's almost like they're afraid to admit what's super clear. Shedeur Sanders looks like the best young quarterback on the team. So where's Stefanski's voice? Where's the honesty? Instead of boosting a young star, their silence feels planned, like they're trying to keep things the way they are. But every quiet rep Shedeur takes, every talk in the film room, every quick flash on the field, it's getting harder to ignore him. For the first time in his football life, Shedeur Sanders isn't the main guy. He's not the automatic starter, not the face of the team. That's a whole new world for someone who's been leading teams since middle school, winning titles at Jackson State, and starring in big games at Colorado. But you wouldn't know it by how he acts. There's no whining, no attitude, just hunger to get better. Being away from his brother Shiloh and his dad Dion hasn't thrown him off. It's made him grow up quick. In Colorado, his family was always close by. Now he's figuring out life on his own, handling his own food, his own place, and his own NFL routine. Those sound like small things, but they're huge when your family used to handle all that so you could focus on football. Now, Shedeur's doing both, and he's not just getting by, he's killing it. He's talking to pros like Denzel Ward, learning from guys who've played at the top level, and figuring out how to be a pro without needing all the attention. That kind of grown-up attitude, especially in a 22-year-old rookie under so much pressure, is rare. Shedeur doesn't need the spotlight handed to him. He's making his own. And if the Browns aren't careful, they might realize the quarterback they've been ignoring is the one who's already earned the team's trust. 3 days into training camp, and Shedeur Sanders has answered every question except the one he can't answer himself. Why isn't he getting a real shot? He's shown he's growing, he's mature, he's a leader, he's accurate, humble, and works super hard. He's taken messy situations with the backup team and turned them into lessons. Then, when he finally got a chance with the second team, he looked like the most natural quarterback out there. No wild throws, no novice rookie vibes, just pure, focused playing. While fans tried to stay cool in Cleveland's heat and coaches stayed quiet, Shedeur let his passes do the talking. Every throw was planned, every move was smart, every word he said was calm. Meanwhile, the media keeps trying to talk about anything but football, making a big deal out of speeding tickets, ignoring his community work, and acting like he's not outworking quarterbacks drafted before him. The silence from Kevin Stefanski says a lot. So does the public scolding from Andrew Berry. But what's louder than both is how Shedeur plays when he's got real teammates around him. He shines. At some point, the Browns will have to face the truth they're dodging. This isn't just Dion's son. This isn't just a 5th-round pick. This is a quarterback who's too big for the box they're trying to keep him in. So now the question changes. If Shedeur Sanders keeps playing like this, how long can they act like he's not the guy? Because the real story isn't about if Shedeur is ready. It's about whether the Browns are ready for him.